Mate, the king of beers, Russian Imperial. Where does that come from? Or did you just make that one?
Well, we wait for the story, mate.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'll tell you on camera.
It's on camera.
We want your genuine genuine surprise.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're actually filming this part.
Yeah, it's going to be the intro, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, that's your intro now.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode, 2021 of A Beer with the Brewer and the brewer himself, Matty Cuthbert. How are you, buddy, today?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. It's Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Had an fun day on the canning line.
Yeah.
Another fun day.
Another fun day. Isn't it just fun, the canning line? You think you've got it sorted, and then all of a sudden it just pulls the rug out from under you and your face plant on the floor.
It is good. It's providing us with plenty of challenges.
Definitely. But we all laugh at each other, you know,
If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Over the course of it. So, so here we are today. We are going to have a bit of a chat about the 2021 rendition of the Imperial Stout, or Russian Imperial Stout.
Rendition, I like it.
You like that one?
Yep.
That was all my energy for today.
Yeah, good stuff.
So it is Fruity Short Fridays.
It is,
as we always are around the brewery.
on a
So
Friday.
I got the kind of the grey pineapples. You got the red pineapples. Very nice. Pineapples, a good theme around here. If you've seen Matty's arm and other bits and pieces of his clothing, he likes the pineapples. So, but no pineapples in this.
Pina coladas.
Pina coladas. That's why we did the pina colada, isn't it? There is no pineapples or pina coladas in this Imperial Stout. There is just a lot of deliciousness in this bad boy. So, Matty, let's have a crack of this one, and you give us a little rundown of how you made this one for 2021, and then we can have a bit of a chat about it. Absolutely a beautiful colour. This is probably one of my favourite beers that we do. The Russian Imperial. It's extremely Moorish.
Look at
and
that.
Delicious.
Black gold.
Absolute black gold. They say oil is black gold, but I reckon this is just 10 times better. Cheers, Matty. Oh, even from here you can just smell it. Just amazing aroma.
Oh, yes, very nice. Alrighty, so this beer is one we will normally produce once a year. This has probably been the most organised I've actually been in terms of brewing it, in that it's out before Easter.
Yes.
I think the first time we made it, it came out in about September, just leading into summer.
Yeah, beautiful summer.
Which is beautiful summer beer.
Yeah, definitely, 10.5%.
The following year might have been slightly earlier, released in August at the end of winter. This time, we've jumped ahead.
We're going to see how it goes in August, because it went fantastic in summer.
Yeah, it did go well in summer.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes in winter.
Like a nice,
hopefully it should go well.
Nice tropical stout.
That's it, mate. That's it.
But the beer itself, we call it the King of Beers.
Certainly.
The beer style has a bit of a history, which we'll go into in a moment. But yeah, we didn't actually brew it last year, did we? Had a year off.
No, I think we did have the year, did we?
Okay. No, yeah, we did have a year off.
Yeah, we did have the year off.
So this year we wanted to bring it back. I think that's why we were a bit earlier in making it. But in terms of brewing it, you sort of put as much malt as you can into the brew.
Yeah, just stuff it in there.
Stuff it in. You really sort of strain the brew house and see how much you can get out of it. Generally speaking, they're over 10%, anywhere between 10 and 12, 13%.
Yep.
Depending how much malt you can stuff into the brew and how well you can get it working. Loaded it up. We got this one, came out bang on 10.5%, which I'm pretty happy about.
Beautiful.
So lots of beautiful sort of ale malt. This one, the base malt was Golden Promise, which is a really nice malt.
Very nice.
And then we get all the nice specialties from our friends at Gladfield.
Oh.
All the beautiful limiteds.
Beautiful.
Give it the nice roasty chocolate, coffee, all those sort of flavors.
What Gladfield malts did you put in?
It has a bit of roast barley.
Yeah.
Some dark chocolate, Shepherd's Delight. That's one of my favourites. It's like a really highly sort of crystallised malt. Biscuit malt is a nice biscuity flavour.
Very nice, yes.
Lots of Munich. I think it's got like 7 or 8 different malt varieties.
Wow.
So sort of
very complex then.
A party of malt, really.
Yeah, awesome.
So run that through the brew house. Normally for the brewers out there, it comes out in the range of about 24, 25 Plato. Normally, I don't get out of bed for anything under 25.
Yeah, not
Plato.
these like below 23s, eh?
Yeah. And then we fermented this one with a yeast I haven't used before. It was Nottingham Ale. That's
Okay.
designed for brewing strong ales.
Yeah,
Can
right.
Tolerate up to 15%
Nice.
ABV.
Okay.
And
How do you think it went in this one?
I think it's nice. It's come out with a bit of a different ester profile.
Mm-hmm.
So high performance yeast. It fermented pretty quickly. For a beer this big, the fermentation was only just over a week,
Wow, okay.
which is quite quick.
That is good.
We haven't yet spoke about the Belgian, but when we get onto that, that was a little bit bigger, and that was more of a 3-4 month fermentation. So to punch out a beer like this in just over a week
definitely
is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then whipped it through, and we canned it. Did we can it last week or the week before?
Yeah, I think one of they all mold into one.
Yes, we've done a bit of canning lately, but it's nice and fresh and ready to be released, so, which is exciting. I think this year has come out a little bit differently because of the different yeast.
Yeah.
As a brewer, you're never 100% happy with something, so you always just want to tweak it a little bit just to see if you can improve it.
Yep.
So we just change a couple of malts a little bit just to change the balance of the beer and see what you can do. But I think it's come out pretty nice. It's got almost like it reminds me a little bit of those chocolate bullets that you eat that are chocolatey and then have just a hint of licorice in the middle, which I'm sure that'll change over time.
Yeah, talking about changing over time, we did the sensory on all the beers yesterday, as we do, and we grabbed the 2019.
Yes.
And this one as well, and to taste the flavour profile differences and everything like that, and that was quite unique as well. And it lends itself to these types of beers actually maturing over a longer period of time, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a big beer and like such robust flavour. So as it ages, they tend to mellow out a little bit and the flavours sort of come together.
Yep.
The 2019 one was tasting pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's always going to pick up a bit of oxygen, so you get a bit of oxidative character, but with a beer over 10%, sometimes that can sort of benefit the flavour of the beer. Yeah. As long as it's not fully oxidized.
Yeah, definitely.
So the 2019 one is really rich. It's like dark chocolate, all those nice sort of flavours. Yep. Whereas this one's still quite young, and I think it's going to mature well. Yeah,
definitely. So like in that sensory, I found like you said, that the 2019 very well-rounded, very complex as well. This one is heading that way, but I find this one, because of the youngness of it, it has that lick of booze right at the end that it kind of kicks up, and you can taste that you're having a 10.5%. But I can't really remember if that was in the 2019, but I'm presuming it would have been.
Any beer
to see
over
that,
10%.
just to see that kind of journey that the actual beer has had over that period of time, and what it can actually be when it's cellared over a couple of years, is really fantastic. And that's, I guess, how they compare these types of larger beers cellaring like wine, when you would cellar wine, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a vintage.
Yeah, definitely. So that's really, really cool. I don't know if we did. We didn't have any bottles left of the 2019 Riz, did we?
I think there's some barrel age floating around.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's different again. Obviously, it's been in a barrel, so that changes the flavours.
Definitely. And I really loved that barrel aged one because it picked up that Shiraz and that oakiness from the barrel, and it gave it this extra element. And it was like, to me, it was like eating this dark chocolate, like forest of berries kind of thing. It just was so complex in relation to what it picked up from the barrel and how it worked so well with the beer. Like that beer, I think I drank probably half of what we did last year at the start of last year out of the bottles. I loved it so much.
That's why there was no sales.
Yeah, probably.
You drank it all.
I know, I was basically selling it. So really good to see a 2021 come out and to take this beer on its journey through some barrel aging processes as well. So
definitely.
We did get a whiskey barrel this time.
We've got a couple of whiskey barrels from Starwood Whiskey down in Melbourne that have been waiting just for this beer.
Yeah, I know. So the complex flavours that we got out of the Shiraz barrels, was amazing. So I just cannot wait for this to be cracked in 6 to 12 months' time. Within those whiskey barrels, I think it's going to give it another.
I think the whiskey barrel is going to be even better.
Yeah.
The whiskey sort of flavour really suits an imperial stout. You get that nice sort of vanilla flavour.
Yeah, vanilla caramelised kind of stuff.
The red one was interesting, but I really think the bourbon or whiskey is really going to enhance the beer.
Yep.
So looking forward to that one. That's for sure.
That'll be very, very limited. So we'll only have 100. 200
barrel,
litre,
225 litres of Barikias or a Bazza, as we say.
Bazza.
So out of that, I think I worked out we get 30 odd cases.
30 odd cases.
So it is pretty limited, yeah.
Very limited. Wax sealed, beautifully tirelessly hand bottled by the brewer himself.
Oh, that's another fun job. I love
it, isn't it? That's pretty soul destroying.
Yeah.
Adds 3 years on your life.
But the end product is worth it.
Yeah, 100%. And it is a great finished product. And again, you can cellar it, and it gets better and better, and it creates a vintage as such. So it's an absolute cracking beer. This straight off the line, beautiful drinking, and it's you can taste the freshness in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not sluggish on the palate or anything like that. Meanwhile, I'll just spill it down in front of me.
It might be sluggish after drinking a few of them.
Yeah, definitely. It's 10.5, 3 standard drinks per can, but no, it's just a beautiful beer to drink. Even fresh, it gives us a nice clean palate. It doesn't give you that fatigue or heaviness from those bigger beers with those large malt bills and everything like that. So again, it's probably why it did so well in summer, because it's so drinkable. But at 10.5%, it's so drinkable until a point that you fall out of the chair.
Well, really, we don't get a lot of really wintry by the fire weather in Queensland,
no.
You sort of need to make them pretty drinkable.
Yeah,
otherwise,
definitely.
Yeah.
Matty, why is the Imperial Stout called the Russian?
Very good question.
Is that because it's always rushing around?
I like it. I'm glad you asked.
Enlighten me.
No, it is a pretty good question. Why is it a Russian Imperial Stout?
Yeah.
Back in the days, back when I think it was the 1800s, the British royal family, or the British brewers through the royal family, used to send beer over to the Tsars in Russia. So the royals over in Russia, and the Baltic Sea gets pretty cold, particularly heading up to Russia. So they realised that if they were sending beer that was sort of anywhere under 6-7%, it would freeze.
Oh.
So by the time it got there, it was no good to drink.
Just beer popsicles.
Pretty much, yeah. So they worked out that if you make beer or anything a higher alcohol strength, then it won't freeze as easily. So they started making these 8, 9, 10, however strong beers, percent beers, and sending them over to the Tsars in Russia.
Right.
So it got a bit of a reputation about it and became the Russian Imperial. And it was Imperial because of the, like the kingdom or whatever, how it's Imperial.
Yes.
Yes, so that's where it's got its name from. And now the Imperial, basically, if you make any beer that's Imperial, it implies the strength. But it actually came from the brewers sending the beer to like the Imperial court.
Just like the IPA?
The IPA is a similar story, but that went to India.
Yes.
They also made that stronger to survive the journey. So
the British, I tell you.
So basically, by making things stronger in alcohol, it fortifies them.
Yes.
A bit like myself.
That's a stitch up.
That was a good one.
That's terrible.
But yeah, basically they worked out they could make the beer a bit. They used to send it in barrels, of course, back in the day, and then make it really strong so it didn't freeze. It got to them in good condition.
Yep.
And it grew a lot of fame over in Russia.
Very nice.
The British, and back then all beer was dark because they the malt they used to use before Pilsner or pale malt come along was all dark because of the malting process they used to use back in the day.
Because they used to, when they kilned it?
That's right. And they used to use peat, which is what they use with, so it would have been quite smoky as well. So you think of peated whiskey.
Yeah.
So the reason that was a fuel source to burn. They'd use that to heat the kiln to make the malt. And then it would come through obviously quite smoky in the whiskey and also the beer or whatever they were using it for. And then it would also add a lot of colour to it as well. So yeah, beer was basically either brown to black back in the day before in the Czech Republic, they started brewing Pilsner beer.
Yeah.
Which is the rise and rise of lager.
Yeah.
Back
Wow.
in the, I think,
Fantastic.
1800s, this all sort of happens.
You're a bit of a wealth of knowledge, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I learned something. I don't know if I learned that at university, but
Yeah.
I retained some knowledge.
Not just a pretty face.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's the story of the Russian Imperial Stout.
Fantastic.
So that's why it's called the King of Beers.
Very nice. Oh, well, now everyone knows. All right, Matty. Well, 2021, Russian Imperial Stout. Absolute cracking start. I can't wait to see what we can do with this little bad boy. But we're going to sit back and enjoy this on a Friday afternoon, and hopefully you can grab some from your local stockist. That'll be out next week. And enjoy with us. Cheers, Matty.
Cheers.